We're going to be starting up a new campaign for AI Dungeon. Rather than having it be like a multi-part series, I decided, hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to take the anthology approach. Like, each episode thoroughly disconnected in plot and cohesiveness. Pretty excited to get back into playing the cosmic horror that is AI Dungeon. It's a very scary game. It can get really scary and sexual if you're not careful. Explore worlds? Absolutely not. We're gonna go with a mystery novel, and I'm gonna be a detective. Enter your character's name. I'll just call him Detective That Guy. You are Detective That Guy, a detective living in Chicago. You have a pistol and a police badge. You enter the forest where you believe the criminal you're searching for fled to. Suddenly, a gunshot is heard, and the police radio static bursts through the speaker. A woman's voice comes through saying, "Detective, you've been shot." The detective says, "I'm fine." And then AI Dungeon is going to demand that he has like thousands of bullet wounds. "You're not fine, you've been shot. It's a fake. A radio play to make people believe they are receiving messages from me. Now stop worrying, and more importantly, stop the bleeding." The detective takes out a Band-Aid conveniently stored in his pocket. I misspelled conveniently. This is embarrassing. I should be embarrassed of myself. Applies it to the gunshot wound that he apparently has. He then proceeds to go several more yards into the thick trees, stops, and turns around to face you. He says, "Follow the gunfire." You do so, and walk through the forest for quite some time. 5 minutes passed. I think that is a good enough definition for quite some time. So when's it gonna get absurd and stupid? And you heard another gunshot. This one was louder, and seemed to buzz in your ears. "Because the gunshot was fired beside your very ear!" The detective turns around and sees you clutching your ears. He walks up to you and says, "Take off your hands." What is it, you ask? The detective takes out a hatchet. That went from 0 to 100 really quick. From his backpack and says, "It's a simple task. Grab what you can now. We have to finish this soon." They're only down to 3 now. The detective proceeds to hack off your hands. The detective then does a 360 twirl and punches you in the face before going deeper into the woods. The crumpled body of that guy is found some 2 weeks later by a group of kids who are out hunting. What exactly are they hunting? What exactly are we hunting? One of the children asks. No one knows. How come my score is a 0? Why do you gotta make me feel so self-conscious? So the premise is the detective cuts off the hands of his deputy, runs into the forest and dies, presumably by the hands of the criminal, and now a bunch of random kids decide to go out hunting. One of the kids calls the police on his Nokia phone, and they arrive to arrest the children! ACAB. They send them to a psychiatrist, who concludes that they were just influenced by Teletubbies and commits them to a mental asylum. When did Teletubbies get involved? The children realized, deep in their psychosis, that they were, in truth, hunting Teletubbies. For their, I forgot to say Tubby. Yeah, Tubby Custard. It's made from the mangled, mutilated bodies of dead Teletubbies. Have you not seen the Meat Canyon video? I wholeheartedly think it's canon. The AI doesn't know what to say. Wow. You've been outplayed, son. Tubby Custard! All of them said in unison. Tubby Custard. Son! They yell, and they are subsequently put down for their own good. What? They fucking killed the children. That's oh my god. Can we just like have some focus character here or something? The government must not let anyone know the truth. The only thing we can do is spread this message as far as possible, repost this, and more importantly, Repost this to spread the truth. Do not let anyone take your free will. So is this suddenly turning into an anti-government piece? I really have no idea where else to take this. Why don't we like go back to the detective story? Can we do that? The detective knew what was happening all along, and he needed to be disposed of. Said the President of the United States of America. The Tubby Custard is mine! The news has the truth but doesn't tell. If I don't want to be an attention whore, but everyone on this board needs to read this. Joe Biden eats Tubby Custard and doesn't share! Please, for the love of Christ, can we make this coherent? Even though this is a true story, I wrote it up after hearing about it from a friend of mine that is a big Biden fan. Why is this suddenly becoming a Joe Biden fan fiction? Apparently, Joe Biden pwned his granddaughter in Mario Kart as Luigi. Detective That Guy is still rotting in the woods. Can we go back to that plot line? Please? Pretty pleased with the cherry on top? If you have any questions about the story, ask away. I will try to answer all of them. This is just as incoherent as the last one. And we're teetering into fourth wall breaking existential crisis territory. It says more about me than it does AI Dungeon, doesn't it? I can learn the truth, though. Why does Joe Biden like Tubby Custard? Find out at the bottom of the page. And now the story. Once upon a time, in a city known as Skokie, there lived a man, a woman, and their 4 children. They never got their Tubby Custard. The end. I'm just going where the wind takes me. Thanks for reading. I would be happy if you left a comment at the bottom. Don't forget to repost this in a school forum and spread the truth. Detective That Guy's body lay dormant in the forest for 2 years, and then the Tubby Custard. I let Jesus take the wheel. Companies sent their top detective to solve the case. There was much rejoicing. The name of that detective was Bob. The name of the company was Tubby Custard. So, Tubby Custard is a corporation?! Bob observes the body of that guy, and he was like, yeah, this is a dead body. He finds a hatchet nearby, and he was like, well, that looks like a murder weapon. Bob then notices all the footprints in the mud. He notices someone made a trail leading into the forest. Bob follows the trail, and that is when he discovers a cabin in the woods. He knocks on the door, and a man inside the cabin answers it. The man has no eyes, just empty eye sockets that were white. But that would imply that he still has eyes. They just don't have the iris part. Hello, Bob says cordially. My name is Bob, and I'm a detective for the Tubby Custard Company. I've been expecting you. Now, where is my big mommy milkers? Someone needs to take control away from me, I swear. It was Tubby Custard that did this to you, Bob says. That's why I've come all the way from Skokie. So, if I can find the cause of whatever's going on this point in time, I can arrest the perpetrator, says Bob. I don't care, the man says. Bob was getting irritated at this man's apathy. Let's make him do a very contrived decision, despite the red flags. May I come in? Bob asked. Sure, the man said. Bob entered the cabin and noticed a lot of instruments. What mattered more to him was what was on the table. It could be the evidence to break the case. It was something that's going to make this story take a 180 flip. It was a tub of, drumroll please, Tubby Custard! Tubby Custard! There's just like an entire corporal building like on the table itself. Bob picked up the Tubby Custard and said, why did you do this? What did Tubby Custard ever did to you? Took away my milk, the weird man said. Also my eyes. He's more concerned about the milk than the state of his eyes. Bob was dumbfounded. "You're missing the big picture," Bob said. "Tubby is taking away my free will. We all know that this is what is going on." Bob aims his gun at the man. No, that's a little too ACAB. Bob was unsure of what he meant by that, and asked. "Think about it," the man said. "You got into a Tubby Custard, and they make you buy things. Then they charge you money that you don't have. It is a big conspiracy." "You must have a BitChute account," Bob said, becoming apprehensive. "I have my eyes on a man named Vlad," the man said. "He is the leader. Also, I'm not telling you anything." "Did you kill that guy?" Bob asked. "Oh, yeah." Bob was very surprised by this. "Why?" Bob asked. "Because he was trying to take away my milk!" Also, I couldn't see his face. Bob raised his gun. "Put your hands on the back of your head and turn around slowly." Can't believe he would just confess his murder like that. The man complied. Bob went and fished the man's eyes out of a nearby bowl. He tossed them to the side. "What's your name?" Bob asks. "A lot." "A lot?" "You have the right to remain at a low decibel rate, and you're going to jail. And I am arresting you." I don't think I spelled decibel right. Did I spell it correctly? Well, you don't like the way I spell it, you piece of shit? What do you have against the world's imperfections? "You're not a detective. You're just some kid in khakis. I can get anyone I want," Bob said. "And since you are now blind, I definitely want you." Bob brings a lot to his van. What kind of car should he have? A Hummer. That should work. I don't think that's like the right way to say it, but I don't care. And puts him in the back seat. From there, a lot goes to the police station. In the jail cell, a lot says, "I don't know anything. Get these people off me." Bob just smiles and says, "Dude, you confessed to committing a murder." Next day, Bob addressed the... What the hell? Okay, I completed a quest. That's good. I wasn't expecting a loud fanfare about it, or else I would have put the desktop audio on. But rest assured, there definitely was a fanfare. The next day, Bob addresses the media about the case. "Yes, we solved the case," he says. "No, I do not think the man named a lot will be arrested for this crime." But there was a whole fanfare and spectacle about it. Guess since he got away with the crime, he may as well just go back to his house and wait for his trial. Lot returns to his cabin, but soon leaves when he is greeted by a swarm of cops. "What?" he says. "There's no free milk in the world." He hops into a truck and drives off. Bob learns about what happened on the news. "Just great," he says. "Now I've got a bunch of corrupt cops after me." The hornet's nest is finally unwound. Bob learns the hard way that you can't mess with the elite. But Bob wasn't doing anything. So now the cops are tracking him down? Bob jumps out of the window of his apartment and does a crazy parkour stunt, landing on the sidewalk with ease. And also sexily. It's either AI Dungeon or me. The woman who lives next to him, however, opens the door to see what the noise is. "You're under arrest," she says. "Gladly," Bob says, and kisses her hand. He just can't get in control of his hormones. He's giving in to his base instincts. What are you doing, man? The woman takes Bob to the police station, where he learns the sheriff of the town is a corrupt, obese bastard that allowed illegal gambling in the town and skimmed money from it. Bob and the sheriff fight, and Bob wins. The woman also falls in love with him for some stupid reason. It's like most Hollywood blockbusters. The sheriff, being a violent, obese bastard, abuses his power as usual. Bob makes his new friend in jail. Well, one new friend and 3 old friends. "Oi, Bob!" one of his old friends said. "Tell me, How much do you think Sheriff Buckley would gain if a new casino opened in this town? Bob said. A lot. Tell me, have you ever met him? Dude, he gave me wedgies back in high school. That's not a yes, Bob says. Okay, fine. Yes, I have met him. How do you know him? We all went to private school. He punched the other students and got away with it because his parents also did illegal gambling and paid off the principal so he could keep acting sus. The Among Us jokes are an inescapable curse. Oh, that's why he's a corrupt asshole. I knew it, the man says. We need to expose him. I don't know, the man says. He's kinda dead. You know, because you murdered him? Bob shouts, nearly hyperventilating. Relax, Bob, the man says. I haven't killed anyone in years. Years? You were a fucking criminal, man. No, you, said the man. I just stole cars and shit. I was a common thief. You killed a man, Bob says again, his voice tinged with accusation. Dude, I literally saw you murder the corrupt sheriff in my jail cell, said the man that Bob apparently knew. He's the only one who deserves to die, not some other fucking asshole who got lucky and made a living off of being a thief. Yeah, so, Bob said, opting to change the subject. Apparently I'm wanted by the FBI or something. You want me to break you out of your cell so you could become my partner or something? The man laughs. Funny, but no. Although you could try escaping again, Bob sighs. I don't know how to thank you, really, he says. The door's unlocked, by the way. The man pointed at the door outside the police station, and it was completely open. Someone forgot to close it. It was probably the sheriff. Corrupt sheriff? All cops are corrupt. A cab. You're really a thief, Bob asks. Not a liar or a conspired murderer? We were all conspired murderers at one point, the man says. What a clinically insane development. Bob solemnly nodded. I guess I should go now. By the way, the man said, you aren't W. Oracle, are you? I'm a K, Bob says. What does that mean? A K? You mean Kryptonian? Yes, how did you know? We went to private school too. Once. And the name W. So Bob is Superman! Are you kidding me? Fuck! Oh god, that explains how he was able to take out the sheriff dude so easily. Wow, man. I have Bob is Superman, and he explodes out of the ceiling of the building and flies away. No one could get a hold of him. He flies out and away. No one could get a hold of him. He flies out and away. No one could get a hold of him. He flies into the sky, up and away. And soon, he will embark on a journey to uncover the Teletubby conspiracy. Go Superboy!